Okay, so as you can tell by the title, we're actually going to have a caboodle kit. So this will be the caboodle kit for May. And if I'm not mistaken, it might be the first one for this year. I can't keep up with my own schedule. But anyway, if you follow my channel, you know that last weekend we had a mixed media retreat here close to where I live. And it was the Creativeville Mixed Media Art Retreat, which was hosted by Shannon Green. So this is what I taught. And a few of you had contacted me and said, hey, can we also do that? So I thought, well, we'll wait until the retreat is over and then I will offer it as a caboodle kit. Here's an example of some of the things we did. We were doing altered brushes and we had various sizes and all different types of printouts that you could do. Either I had a lot of trees and earthy kind of nature kinds of stuff. That's what I had concentrated on the examples that I had made. And then there over the weekend to show that you could do other things other than just using that particular printout. I had also printed out some of these, I don't know, kind of steampunky guys. I'm not sure. So I made this one, and in the picture, it had these moons and stuff. So I just put it there on a little bit of florist wire and then decorated the back side also. We also did some spoons just to have fun to decorate them. So I put the man there with a little a little more wire up on top. We had this size of brush and then also because that's the same, yeah, and this size of brush, and then we had these little small ones. Now in the kit, there's going to be a third size of brush just to confuse you a little bit more. Uh, and we also did some bookmarks that we just put on some cardboard, just examples, because most of these digitals have just from the neck up, and then we just use painty papers to fill up the gaps underneath. Okay, so that is in a nutshell what we did. Let me show you what is going to actually come in the kit. Let me scoot all this over and we'll go from there. Let's start off with the brushes. These are the brushes that we are going to be altering. So there's 4 brushes and we're going to get 4 spoons. That's the kind of spoon this was. It was altered. A little small wooden spoon. So these are what we're going to be altering. And just to give you an example of what we did. Oops. In the viewfinder. And we didn't have this size at the retreat, but this is a really good size to work with too. I had to limit my amount because the time factor, but doing it with you guys, hey, no problem, the time factor. So all your little brushes are going to come in this little container to keep them all kind of contained. So you'll get that. Now the stuff that we used. Now, this is, or do I have an example? Do I have an example? I know I do. This is some fake moss. I didn't want to use the real stuff for various reasons. Oops, I can't see. Anyway, you get the idea. Here I use a different type of moss. Or is this the same one? Anyway, so you're going to get, it may not look like a whole bunch, but this stuff goes a long way. The ladies probably used this much because it does go a long way. And we just glued it down onto the project. I also had a couple of painty papers that were in there. I'll have a couple of more that I'm have to find in my pile, and that will also be included. You can see some areas here where we use different painting papers. A lot of you ladies have your own, but just in case you don't, there's some of that. I had some of these coffee filters that I got from Amy, and the colors went really well. There'll be a couple of those. It might be the blues, purples, greens. There'll be a little variety. Then some of the stuff that we used on the actual, let me move this out of the way so you can see better. Had a little ribbon because you can see some of these have some ribbon on them. And then I also have on here these tags. We decorated some of these tags and hung them on here. And then some of these have some stamps on them. See here and here. So you get a couple of those stamps. I'll probably get some more. Those were what was in the pack for last weekend. And then some more postage. And then a couple of these little small ones. I can't see. I don't have up here one that I used it on. Oh yeah, here we are. I put the little leaves. Whoops. These little leaves that is here on this trim. She'll be getting also. Oops, can you see it better if I lay it down? This trim. And then some more of this fake looking kind of mossy stuff. I put it on the base of some of these brushes. Came out kind of cool. And then just some papers to cut out. Like for instance here, I cut the one that had some writing on it and put it down there on the bottom. Just as an example. Okay, so you're going to get that. And then these are the ones that I had done originally as far as the samples. So you're going to get a lot of papers because you only have 4 brushes, right? But you're going to get a lot of stuff. You're going to be able to make a little journal also, I'm sure, with all these leftovers. So this is an example of the stuff that you're going to be getting. And this is what I would call, you know, the nature people. So that's you get for that one. Then I got some of these that had more of an autumn feel to them. And it had some of the mushroom people also. So if you wanted to go in that direction, or if you wanted to make each brush like a different theme, you'll have plenty to do that. Then here's this guy. That's the one that I made into the that guy. So there's some really cool pictures there. And then some more of this greenery that can go with any of these. And then I also brought some what I would call more on the vintage side. The ladies made some really cool ones with these too. I don't have an example, but these would look really cool. This looks really cool on the little small brushes. And then this paper, some of them just cut out the flowers and put them, you know, around the ladies. And came out really cool. So, needless to say, you'll have a lot of choices and styles to choose from. Have plenty left over to make yourself a little journal to go along with these altered brushes. And hey, now you'll be able to have the fun that we did over the weekend. And Shannon is planning on doing another one next year, which would be around the same time, and sometime in April of 26. Oh my gosh, 26. So if you're interested, start saving your pennies, and she'll be coming with more information as time goes on, and I will pass that on with you. Or if you want to get on a list, you can either contact me or Shannon Green directly, and we can go from there. But meanwhile, we are going to be able to do these for the month of May, our first Kaboodle kit of the year, I think. I think. All right. They will be in the shop, and we'll start working on them in May. Thanks.